because we're gonna do another one just to show you guys.
This thing's sick.
This is gold.
This is like the coolest FC.
This is what you call tastefully modified NA.
This is beyond tasteful, Mike. This is crazy. So what's the history in this thing?
This is his car. I don't know.
So I got this body back in 2013. I used to live out in Cincinnati, Ohio. I had just a stock GXL that I was tracking back then, and I blew that up, blew the water jacket in mid-Ohio, and I started building that. And then I had a friend up in Wisconsin who had this body. He wanted to do a 20V swap, but it just never got off the ground. So it's an 86 base, so power nothing, no sunroof, none of that stuff. And I bought it, trailed it back home, and swapped all my stuff over it, and just been building it really ever since then.
How many setups have you done before what you have right now?
This is pretty much the first iteration. I went full out. I mean, I didn't do this, most.
Well, you changed intakes and exhaust a couple times.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, the engine's been unchanged since I rebuilt it, but yeah. So it's on its second exhaust iteration.
This thing makes like 20 more horsepower than the new header.
So between the new header and the new intake, I mean, it was like a 40 or 50 horsepower change. It's two different dynos, so I kind of take what it is,
yeah.
but
Still a big difference. Like even if you can try to say the dyno is a dyno, like,
and it feels completely different too. I mean, that was the big thing is before it was power was getting choked off down low.
So that's the biggest thing about like NA stuff. The exhaust is like the biggest like mod you can do on a like.
So this thing is turbo tube plates, right?
Yeah, S4 turbo tube plates. S5 NA. Housings, not that it really matters, but S5 NA rotating, at least rotors. It's got Rx7
Is it balanced and everything, or?
Yeah. It's been balanced. Didn't lighten or anything. Any of the rotors. Kind of kicking myself now. I should have just paid the extra money. Probably should at least had them clearance. But I mean, the way
yeah.
I mean, but it doesn't. It's not like most NA rotaries where they want to be like 10,000. I mean, it kind of runs out of steam at about 8,000, 8,500. So
I mean, we're gonna fix that, right, Mike? You gotta put that thing at 10. Not just like.
Drivetrain wise, it's real simple. I mean, you don't need to go crazy. It's just got Racing Beats aluminum flywheel on there, and the the Exedi Stage 1 or Exedi Stage 1 clutch. So just slightly stiffer.
One stage of injection.
Just one stage. I mean,
that's what I was looking at. It has 2 injectors only.
Oh yeah. Yeah, keep it simple.
This is gonna be your first time on a dyno with it, though, right? Like you've been doing all the tuning
It's
yourself?
been on a dyno a few other times, yeah. I mean, but not really. I mean, I've had it on a dyno to try to dial it in myself. I don't know nearly that much of what I'm doing, so it was really just kind of make sure it was safe. And then the last time I was at dyno was really just for hey, let's have fun and see what it puts down.
What did it put down?
On a dyno, it put down 240 to the wheel. So that's. I think that's probably optimistic.
Might get the NOS bottle. So I was talking to him earlier about it, and his setup, like the way he has it tuned, is pretty mild. Timing's pretty low. The EFRs are pretty rich, so we might be able to squeeze a little more power out of it. How much do you like your paint? Cause Mike like the flame tunes. He like throwing flames. Like.
It should be all right.
It
actually doesn't really throw flames that bad right now since I went to the new exhaust.
It's gonna.
I know. My son was kind of bummed out about that it wasn't throwing flames anymore on dyno. So
we're gonna make his son happy today. Alright, we're gonna do the first pull.
had to raise the. It stopped reading at 6,000. That was my bad. So I had to raise it up. We're gonna try that again. .241, 162 torque. 241. 162. Yeah. Damn. That's pretty respectable. Hey, what did the K truck do when from Hoonick? 160 or something like that? Anyway, that's pretty damn good for like an NA engine. Like that's respectable. Hey John, who's the NA daddy now?
He is.
He is. You're the NA daddy now?
Oh, is that what it is?
He has dual wide bands for each runner.
He does.
And the max I saw was a 12.3 because the thing
Yeah.
was like all over the place. I was like,
Okay.
but we can clean it up, probably get to like 250, and then lean out a little bit, get to 255, and then hit timing with it.
Yeah. Let's get the spark plugs and see if that helps out a little bit.
Oh, it's probably caught on the other side. Stupid. These latches suck sometimes.
All right, so what we're gonna do is, it did 241, which is pretty damn good, but it is pulling vacuum on the top end, so it has a restriction from making more. So we're gonna see if, pretty much see if it's the intake or if it's the throttle bodies need to be bigger. So 241 is with the intake on, and it lost. So the intake helps. Probably it's like not letting it get the air get turbulent. This intake you actually gain 5 horsepower from having it. It's a pretty good test right there. So we're gonna go get some spark plugs and pretty much try little things to see what gains we get.
5,000 or 6,000 miles on them.
Mike, are they good or are they good?
The spark plugs need a replacement, so we're gonna see if that helps.
Did he come with bad oil too, or you haven't checked it?
Did you change the oil on this thing?
I changed it late last summer.
No, it's goddamn.
Oh my god.
I changed it last like July, August before I started doing track days again.
I feel better now.
Yeah, he said last summer you got scared, man.
No, it's yeah. That's it. It's yeah. I think I've changed the. I think I've put like 2 tanks of gas through it since I changed the oil.
We're gonna try see what the spark plugs, if it made a difference. So we mess with the timing a little bit. We're gonna see what gains we get from it. Okay, so 250 now.
After 8,000, it goes to 11 AFRs.
Is that
Okay.
So dip.
we're gonna keep doing timing, and then we'll do fuel at the end.
All right.
So raise up the timing again too. All right. So we raised it 2 more degrees. Dropped a little bit. So go take away 2. So now that we peaked on power on the last one, and now that we added 2 more degrees, it actually lost power. So what we gotta do is we gotta bring it back down 2, and now we're gonna do air fuel. What was air fuel?
It was like 12.8 now.
12.8. Let me see.
It still goes pretty rich in it.
It had a hiccup on the like at 8 grand. What are you revving it to? 89. Yeah, man. Chill the fuck out, man.
What happened?
257.
It's a little bit of gas. Hey, Mike.
That's an NA. That's an NA right.
That was still 12.1.
It's still pulling vacuum, but I think it's getting pretty close there. I feel like it would do 270 if it had like a slightly bigger intake, nothing crazy.
Just a little bit more breathing room. Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
ITB, the throttle bodies.
What's that?
Like throttle body wise, like slightly. What size is it right now?
It's 50 millimeters at the plate. So, but it's EFI's tapered throttle body. So they at the ram tube, the entrance are 55, and it's like 55, 52, then 50. So
probably like a 51 or
yeah,
or something, 51, 52. I know a lot of people with peripheral ports run like they run like 55s, 60s.
Yeah.
But you know, the only reason I say like I'm comparing to that is because this car's making peripheral port power with a street port.
Yeah, I have to go back and check their catalog. I know at one point in time they made like a 60 millimeter.
257.
51 IDA is what all the peripheral port guys used to run.
Yep.
So
I think that's what you might need. Yeah, 260 on that one. 260 on that one.
So what I did is I lowered the split a little bit.
Big difference from before. It's actually holding the power now, and it's not as messy.
Let me touch the split a little more and see what it does.
So pretty much what happened is John lowered the split and the car lost a lot of power, so we're gonna add split and see how far it can get. So John added split and now it's at 262. So add more split. 262, 170 torque. So we have a dead O2 sensor, but this graph is just insane.
Hit about 20 more horsepower, and
so that was fuel, timing, spark plugs, split, and I'm gonna put a side-by-side comparison of before and after. Yeah, so pretty much that's a before and after of it, and it seemed to carry out the same curve on the top end, but you know, it did gain a lot more power. So this was just with basic, adding a little bit of timing. We raised the split a little bit, like 1 degree, and we leaned out the air-fuel ratio a little bit on wide open throttle. Other than that, like, this thing is ripping. What do you think?
That's awesome. I mean,
20 horsepower, almost 20 horsepower in eight.
Two.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll feel it.
Let me see.
I can get it.
It's like not.
Hey man,
There we go.
We're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I could switch it before.
Yeah,
I take off, I gotta switch it.
261.8, 262, 170. And this is a heat soak motor.
That's what I'm using for the O2 correction.
This is
so.
NA.
No,
The header
that's
was
true.
glowing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
It was glowing.
I told him until that shit's glowing, we're not making power.
Yeah.
Now it's glowing.
Yeah, when it glows, it's making power.